Greetings and welcome to my channel. My name is Brene and the name of my channel is Act 2 Life After 50. I just want to say welcome, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, please subscribe. There should be a little red button somewhere on there. Then press the notification bell so you'll know whenever I upload. I don't upload all the time, but you'll know when I do. Share, and if you like the video, just press like on it. There's something that happens with the algorithms or something like that. Anyway, so I just wanted to welcome you. So the purpose of my channel is really for people who are mature in age. I love watching YouTube videos. I follow a bunch of people as they do all their exploits, but I noticed that there really weren't a lot of channels that had hosts that were like in my age group or over 50, let's say. And so I just wanted to have a channel that would be a community or a space for people in that age group. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here today. So that just leads me to the first part of the discussion. So today's topic is my retirement journey. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but it's my retirement journey. But before I want to get into that part of it, you know, identity is a very important thing today. And so it was interesting when I was trying to think, okay, so who can I say that my channel is for, like a name, identity name? And I kind of thought of baby boomers, but that's really not accurate, because if you're 50 or over today, you would have been born after the baby boomer period, which I think is 1964. So I couldn't think of any names. So as we do with anything, I went to Google and I asked what was an alternative name for a senior citizen. Now check this out. And this is what it came up with. A long list of names, and they were senior, elder, oldster, ancient, wrinkly, retiree, Methuselah, crumbly, soup, some name, buffer, pensioner, let's see, golden ager, old person, old fogey, elderly person, and the list goes on and on. None of those names, in my opinion, describe me or my friends. So why don't you just help me out, and in the comment section below, give me a name that you think mature people should be referred to by. Anyway, and I'll respond anytime somebody puts something in the comments. I promise to respond if it's in like the first couple of weeks, maybe first month. I'll be checking so I can get back to you. I'd love to be able to communicate with you. So I just thought that was so funny. I could not wait to share that with you. They just don't know us. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's what this channel is about. It's kind of for people who are, especially women. That's kind of my group there, that are still quite lively and quite active and into all kinds of things, and there just doesn't seem to be really kind of a place for us like that, and so we want to carve out our own. We still have a lot of life to live. So anyway, as I say that now I'm going to segue into retirement. So I'm one of those people who has said for ages that I'm just not going to retire, because I make really good money for what I do. I'm an educator. I love what I do. I'm cool with the people that I work with. And I have always said, why retire and live off of a pension when I can have full job, full benefit and all that? And so some of my retirement friends said, you'll know when it's time. You'll know when it's time. Then I had some other friends that said, don't let any circumstance force you to retire until you are actually ready. So I just had this thing. I don't believe in retirement. I think you need to keep your mind moving and your body moving and all that with the job. Well, I am coming upon my 65th birthday. And a few months ago, my mind just shifted almost overnight. I just came to the conclusion that it's time for me to retire. I can't believe it, but it's true. I have been working since I was 14 years old. I worked every summer. until I graduated from college and got a full-time job. I have worked ever since. The longest time that I've ever had off from working was when I had my daughter. And I didn't even take a full 6 weeks. I only took 5 weeks. I have been working pretty much all of my life. And so the idea of retirement was something that I had never really put my arms around. But all of a sudden, I just felt like it's time. It's time for me to go. So before I made a final decision, I had to check on my money. You know, you got to check on your money. I'm not independently wealthy. Like I said, I work in education. So it's not like I got tons and tons of money. So I checked all of my little pension plans at the couple of districts that I worked with and my Social Security, because I also worked in the private sector, and my little investments and all that. And I put it all together and I said, okay, can I live comfortably? Which is really important. I don't want to reduce my standard of living. I trust God that He'll take care of everything, but it's my responsibility to take care of myself. I'm single, and so it's all on me. So I checked all the money and I checked everything and the benefits that I would have in retirement, and everything checked out. So I said, okay, this is it. And anybody who knows me knows that when I make up my mind to do something, then I almost always carry it through. I always try to carry it through. And so I had sort of made up my mind, yes, this is what I'm going to do. So the next thing I needed to do was let our department director know, because I believe that I'm just out front like that. I'm just transparent. I'm not going to wait, because I decided that it wouldn't be until next year. So again, like I said, I'm in education. Our school year is over on the June 30th of every year. So I said, okay, June 30th, 2022 would be my last day of working a regular, normal, punch the clock kind of job. Although I might do other stuff that's kind of work related. Who knows what might come up. So I actually sent her an email because it was on my mind, like early in the morning or late at night. I can't remember. And so I sent her an email just letting her know that that was my decision to do that. And so everything was fine until she sent me an email saying she wanted to meet. This was weeks later, months later, actually, I think. And she wanted to meet with me on something. So we got on the, actually, we're still doing Zoom meetings. So we got on the Zoom meeting, and we started talking about who would do my responsibilities. So she wanted to have like a transition plan. That kind of, to be honest with you, that kind of hit me. I wasn't expecting to have that conversation right then. And so it kind of hit me hard. I really didn't know that it would do that. And so what I sort of came to the realization that this is going to be a process. This is going to be a process. It's not just, just boom, I'm going to retire and that's it. Maybe for some people it'll be that way, but for me, it's going to be a little different. So I had a conversation with my therapist about how I was feeling about it, because I started to actually feel sort of anxious, sort of like, oh my gosh, if I don't work, what am I going to do? How am I going to feel useful? How am I going to keep my mind, sharp? I believe you need to really engage your mind to keep it sharp. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? And I really started to have like some serious anxiety about that. And so I wanted to share that because I know there's probably a lot of people like, shoot, when I get ready to retire, that's it. I'm done. I ain't thinking about those people. But there might be some people like me who have been kind of attached to your work for a long time. And the thought of not having that work, that sense of identity, purpose, accomplishment, not having that is sort of a thing. And so I'm just going to really kind of video this process as I go through it. So, and I'm going to share my thoughts, my feelings with anybody out there in the YouTube land who wants to listen. So, one of the things in conversation with my therapist, we were talking. She was surprised that I had those concerns because I also have a lot of extra outside of work activities. I have some women's groups that I work with. I'm always doing like activities with those groups. I teach some Bible study classes that are connected with those groups. I like to travel, so I put together like a international trip every other year. And so she was surprised that I was thinking I wouldn't have anything to do. But it took that moment of her saying, you really have a very full life outside of work now. And probably what will happen is you will just be able to spend more time on those things that you really enjoy doing. And while that sounds very simple, I mean, it almost sounds like you shouldn't necessarily get paid for that because that's a simple response. But she was right. It sort of settled me down when I thought about all of the things that I love to do outside of work and that I would be able to do those things and more. Plus, I started a book about maybe 5 years ago, really. It's been a minute. And like I said, I don't like to start things and not finish it. So that's one of the things I'm like, okay. So you have the book, you can work on that. That'll take you a minute to do. And then you have your other activities. So I calmed down from that and sort of shook it off. But every now and then, I still get, sort of a funny feeling. Now, at work, I am very committed to like all of my projects. I'm one of those people who's like all in on everything. And so now as I begin to we go through this transitioning period of time where I'm having to sort of hand off my work, that is another thing that I'm having to deal with. I almost feel like it's a tug of war where I want to make sure somebody gets all the information and that they can take it over and take it to the next level. But I also feel like, oh, this is my baby. I've been working on this for years. So that's another part of the kind of maybe separation anxiety that some of us experience as we prepare to retire. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on and share with you kind of where I am right now in my retirement journey. I'm at the very beginning of it, but I'm going to post videos to just kind of let you know about the process. As I get any information that might be useful to share, I'll share the information because, that retiring is a big thing. And I'm asking all of my retired friends, well, what did you do about this? And what did you do about that? Because I've never retired before, so I don't know. And I certainly don't want to make a mistake and either leave money on the table, leave benefits on the table, or have something that comes at me that I wasn't prepared for. I like to be prepared. So, and then I'd like to help you be prepared too. And some of you may be like in your 50s and you may have another 10 years, 5 years or whatever to retire. And so this might be helpful. So anyway, I just wanted to check in with you and invite you to continue with me on this journey. If other topics come up along the way, because I've done topics on adult children, on health issues, just whatever comes in my mind, really whatever's on my heart, I just post a video. Now, I do want to say one thing. You won't ever see any videos from me about fashion, how to do your makeup, or any of that. That is not me. There are some other great sisters out there that do that work. And I'll put some links in the description down below. So if you're interested in that kind of video, you can follow them too. We want to be supportive of all of the people who are trying to share information and insight on YouTube. Plus, you won't ever see me really like ragging on anything, or hopefully, I might do some things around current issues, but I hope to always come from a positive perspective, from an encouraging perspective, an informational perspective, and not anything else, because that's not me either. So anyway, thank you. I want to remind you again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Press the bell if you haven't pressed the bell. Like to support the video. Give me some comments below. Tell me about things that you might want to hear about. Share with a friend. Take care. See you next time.